let me give you a historical perspective on this. Somebody who brilliantly understood this was Arthur Lydiard from a long time ago. For those of you who are younger and don't understand, Arthur Lydiard was a runner coach from New Zealand who developed an understanding based on Coach Webb and a couple other people prior to him that endurance was a big factor. Okay. And so what happened was he developed the concept of doing a lot of aerobic endurance training so that your fitness was so high that once you started doing quality training, meaning short repetitions at faster speed, you could do a lot more of them without breaking down and recover better from them. Okay. But one thing that most people don't get about Arthur Lydiard's concepts is that he did time trials. Now, note, he didn't have runners do them all out. He had them do equivalent to about what I do, 97%. Right? He called it 7/8 efforts based on Swedish coach Gösta Holmer's charts. He did assign training paces as a general rule. People think that he didn't, but he did. He had charts from Gösta Holmer. I could go over that some other time. And it's very extensive. Bill Bowerman from Oregon had the same charts, as well as Bill Dellinger, who used those charts extensively, right, at the University of Oregon for many years. Okay. Gösta Holmer was a brilliant man ahead of his time. All right. Now, Lydiard would do things like, okay, you are a miler, Peter Snell, Murray Halberg, okay, John Davies, all the great elites he coached. He would say, you're a miler. I still want to know. We're 4 weeks out from the Olympics. I want to know what your endurance is like. Yes, we did a big 10-week base marathon conditioning phase, which is what he called it. Then we went to hills. We kept our long run in. We did drop the volume a little bit. We started doing some introductory 400 meters fast, 400 meters slow, or a 200 meter fast, 200 meters slow. A lot of people don't realize that he borrowed that from Franz Stamfel, okay, who was a great coach who coached Roger Bannister, Chataway, Brasher, all those guys. And he did not do, and the brilliance of Lydiard is he followed a good concept, a good model of Franz Stamfel, who said, no, you don't need to run a fast 400 and then take short recovery jog. No, he had Bannister do a full 440 jog recovery in 2.5 minutes. Lydiard did the same thing. Because Lydiard said, look, this is a model. He was smart. He was a practical guy, not super well educated from a conventional system, but very astute.
He could observe the other people.
What worked, right? He's very much like Bill Bowerman. He was eclectic. Bowerman always said the best coaches borrow the best models and fine-tune them, okay, and integrate them and basically adjust them to the individuals on the team. Because, as an example, Bill Bowerman, I know I'm segueing, but Bill Bowerman, I told my guys the other day, in the early 60s, when he had his team that set the 4x1 mile world record, when they set it down in New Zealand, they raced people like Lydiard's athletes, and they won. They set the world record. 3 of the 4 guys were sub 4-minute milers on cinders, like Roscoe, Devine, and a couple others. But he trained all 3 of those sub 4-minute milers differently. In fact, he had 4 guys. The slowest guy was like a 4:03. They all were trained differently, but they all ran about the same mile time. Why? Because he did the same thing as Lydiard. He profiled. Bowerman also had people like his milers do a 2-mile time trial throughout the fall and winter. 2-mile time trial about every 3 weeks or something like that. He would do that, and then 3 weeks later, he might do an 880 yards or half-mile time trial. Well, Lydiard would do the same thing in the lead up to the Olympic Games. He'd say, okay, John Davies, go run a 5K at 97% effort. He called it 7/8 effort. Basically, it was maybe 10 seconds slower, 15 seconds slower than all out, just to see what his endurance was. So for a miler like John Davies, who got 3rd in the Olympics, silver medal or bronze medal, if his 5K time was solid 4 weeks out, at 7/8 effort, then Lydiard knew your endurance is still good. But if J. Davies struggled, they said, you know what? You don't need to be doing a whole bunch more fast 400s. We need to get you back and do some 800s and get out there and do a 10-mile tempo run. He didn't call it tempo then, but it was the same concept.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And then he would have them do an under distance, just like Bowerman, an under distance. Lydiard would have them do an under distance. Okay, let's do a 330-yard time trial. Mm-hmm. Brilliant, right? Which we call 300 meters now. Okay, maybe the endurance was good for John Davis in a 5K, but his 330 was not so good.
Right.
So we're 4 weeks out. Lydiard's like, not a problem. I'm going to do some 150 meters fast reps and get you a little more speed. Mm-hmm. Okay, so this all relates to the average runner as well, whether you or the non-elite, I should say, right? Whether you're a high school runner or a recreational runner, you need to do a comprehensive approach. You need to use a comprehensive approach to understanding what you need for training at this moment, with the understanding of how many weeks away you are from your peak event. Okay, so you do need to go. I would encourage the average everyday recreational 5K runner during periods when we don't have a pandemic, when they're able to race frequently, is to vary their event. Run a 10K 1 week, 2 weeks later, run a 5K.